Father, how is he?
He's still in a coma. The doctor was just here. There's been no change.
I shouldn't have fallen asleep.
You want to sleep long, baby?
I shouldn't have fallen asleep at all, not until Brandon comes out of this.
You want some coffee? Actually, it's breakfast time. You want something to eat?
No.
I'll be back in a few minutes.
I was so sure he'd be awake by now. I mean, I thought he'd sleep through the night. And when the sun rose, he'd open up his eyes.
Wish it had been that simple. You can't give up. You must have faith.
You should feel free to take as much time with this as you need.
You may have to say this again under oath in a courtroom.
Julie is here in a dual capacity as the acting DA and also to witness your response to seeing this guy.
I understand.
All right, well, take a look through the window and tell us if you recognize the man on the other side.
That's the man.
You're identifying the man in the other room as the man you encountered outside Diane Bentley's apartment on the night of December 1st.
Yes.
Will you be able to make a positive identification in court?
Yes, I will.
Looks like we've got our man.
We appreciate your coming down here on such short notice, Zach.
I just hope this can put an end to the whole nightmare.
Well, we may be on our way.
Look, I want to help as much as possible. If you need anything else, you know where to find me.
Do me a favor, though, will you? Don't mention anything about this to anyone until we get in touch with you, okay?
You got it.
Thanks.
Thank you. All right, I will file murder and rape charges immediately.
Well, let's hold on here a second, shall we?
What?
I don't want to rush this.
Rush this. Did you hear what Zach just said? He's going to make a personal and positive identification.
Mm-hmm. But I'm not convinced.
What other evidence do you need to convince yourself? I mean, the man in there confessed himself. I identified the man that attacked me in the church. He wasn't wearing a ski mask then, and he's got a cut on his forehead where I bopped him with the candle.
Fair enough. Then let's file assault charges, but let's let the rest of it ride for the time being. What do you say?
I say I don't get this.
Julie, look, I know how difficult this has been for you. I'm not trying to...
No way. Don't make this personal. This is not personal. There isn't a DA in the country that wouldn't press charges against this man immediately.
Possibly. There's no question the man has violent tendencies. He may even be the man Zach thinks he saw outside Miss Bentley's apartment that night. However, it does not make the man the rapist.
I don't understand what you want. You heard the man's confession.
With no specifics whatsoever. You know how many times people come in here and confess to crimes they couldn't possibly have committed?
Go over this again, all right? The man, we're talking about a man who had access to the hospital and medication Eden and I were given when we were attacked. He stole from the television station, so he certainly had access to the video equipment he used. He's wearing the shoes that left prints outside your house and outside the doctor's on-call room, and he has no alibis. Other than that, he's a model citizen.
Look, I'm sorry. I wish it added up to his guilt.
It does in my book.
I know you're under a lot of pressure to get this case wrapped up. I've been under pressure too, believe me. Both of us saw what happened with Kane and the Major. Two men with incriminating evidence against them who turned out to be innocent. A lot of us thought that sketch we drew up with Zach's description was the Major. That guy in there looks a hell of a lot like the Major. Who's to say there's not somebody out there who looks a hell of a lot like this guy?
Wearing the same shoes, hanging out in the hospital, ready to confess to Andrea's murder and Eden's rape. It doesn't seem logical or likely.
Well, but there hasn't been anything about this case remotely logical from the get-go, has there been? No, there hasn't been. You go to the press now, you say that we caught the rapist. Every woman in Santa Barbara is going to let her guard down. Too much information about this ridiculous series of events has been in the paper already, and you know it.
Well, there's nothing we can do about that at this point.
You can put a gag order on this case until we're sure. And I'm asking you, as a personal favor, to do that.
Can you tell if he's getting any better?
Right now, his condition is the same.
I don't understand any of this. You know, he was fine when he came home after the fall. He was reading to us and everything.
He may have seemed fine for a while, but when he hit his head, he suffered a concussion.
But he came out of it.
The concussion caused his brain to swell. He came out of it when the swelling took place. And then when it reached a certain point, Brennan fell into a coma.
His brain is swollen. It sounds so horrible. What do you do for that?
At this point, there's nothing we can do but wait and see how he responds.
Well, he's not responding at all. That's pretty obvious.
We need to give it more time.
How much time? I want you to level with me, Dr. Bentley. How bad is it?
I won't lie to you. Brandon's present condition is very serious. But you have to understand that he could come out of this coma in 5 minutes or in 2 days.
But you do think he's going to come out of it. I mean, that's what you're saying, right?
Well, we have every reason to hope for that to happen.
I wonder what it's like for him. I mean, I wonder if he can hear us. He knows we're talking about him. Because I really want him to know his mother's here with him.
Oh, I'm not sure what coma patients experience, but I've always believed very strongly that love and the will to live are the most important factors in any recovery.
Well, I love him more than anything.
Then he must be feeling that. Now, I'm going to be off duty for the next few hours, but the hospital knows where to reach me at all times, and I'll be checking in regularly on Brandon's condition.
Thank you.
Well, you're just the lady I was hoping to see.
Is that so?
For a doctor about to get off duty, you look a little down. What's up?
I have a little boy in there in a coma. Kind of case I find the most frustrating. The old, nothing you can do but wait routine.
Yeah, it makes me nuts.
I just wish I had magical powers so I could heal all the children in the hospital.
I don't think your problem's unique. I've never met a doctor that doesn't feel that way.
Maybe it's something you outgrow?
No. I don't think you ever get comfortable with the fact that in some cases, there's just nothing you can do for the patient.
Maybe not.
But I know what can make the wait more palatable.
What's that?
Well, I was thinking, why don't we have lunch and then we can catch a matinee of the Nutcracker?
Oh, that sounds wonderful. But I was planning on coming here and checking in on my patients.
You are off duty. Now, you're not going to help your patients by running yourself into the ground. Besides, we can tell the hospital where we are. We can give them the seat numbers at the ballet.
You're a very persuasive man.
When I want to be. Well, I'll pick you up when you get off.
All right. It'll be fun. Oh, that's me. I'll see you later.
You want more evidence?
I want something.
What about the shrine to Eden that you found in the warehouse district? Now, this man has a history of going from one abandoned building to the other in the same area.
That's interesting, but there's still a piece missing. What the hell is this?
We found it in back of the chapel where Miss Wainwright was attacked.
Thank you.
How's it going?
Good. I'm glad you're here. Do you recognize this shopping cart?
I think I saw it outside the chapel. I remember seeing a red bandana.
Do you know who it belongs to?
Well, I assumed it was Jack's.
Look at this. He's got newspapers about the rape all over it. Are you convinced?
Now, come on. Practically every issue of the Santa Barbara papers has had something on the front page about the rapist since the night Eden was first attacked.
Cruz, the evidence is overwhelming.
Let's stop talking about the evidence for a moment, shall we? And think about this man. Julia, we have spent months chasing someone clever enough to elude us at every turn. The guy has covered his tracks like a magician. He's moved in and out of any place he's wanted, including my home on several occasions, without leaving so much as a fingerprint. We're talking fastidious. Now look at this guy. You gonna tell me you believe that is the same man? Relax. You know, I'm having a little problem here, Jack. I'm starting to believe you want to go to prison.
What's the difference? The whole world's a prison. I'll just be switching cells.
Why did you confess to these crimes?
Because I'm guilty, you idiot.
You think I'm just going to take your word for that?
Everybody knows I'm guilty. That's why I'm here.
All right, you're guilty, so tell me about it.
What?
Tell me how you did it. Tell me something that everyone couldn't have read in the papers.
Well, they couldn't have known how much I hate women.
And why do you hate women?
They're evil. They're all daughters of Eve. They try to be soft and pretty and innocent, but they're not. They turn on you
How?
any way they can. That's why I live on the street. I'd rather live there than some woman's house. She makes it all cozy and tidy. But she's like a black widow weaving her web, ready to suffocate you.
But you won't allow that.
No, I will not allow that. I got no ties with women. I'm free. At least as free as anyone can get these days.
From the way you describe it, it seems like you must have lived with a woman at some time. Come on, talk to me, Jack. I mean, you say you're free, and then you tell me you committed these terrible crimes.
I did.
Well, then you're not free of women at all, are you? Any man who committed the crimes you did is totally possessed by women. Isn't that right? I mean, they control everything you do. You don't rape them just for the fun of it. You rape them because you have to, because they drive you to do it. So don't tell me you're free. Tell me what it's like when you rape these women. Tell me about that.
No!
All right, sit down. Sit down! Now, you just gave me a vivid description of what it's like to be in a woman's house. I gotta believe that you lived with a woman sometime. Maybe you were even married. Maybe you even have kids. Do you, Jack? Do you have any children?
There are too many people in this world. That's why this planet is such a hellhole. Why would I want a kid?